My name is Yundal Hepet, and as far as I know, I am an aberration, something that shouldn't exist, and yet does. Being cut off from the convergence is a death sentence for a Korvax. So why am I still a functioning entity? Cognizant of my own mortality and keenly aware of the lost communion with my brethren. Gradually, I begin to realize that oblivion was not to be my fate. So of course this realization triggered a search for the why. Why had I not simply dissipated? In my hubris, I may have doomed all intelligent life, and I simply cannot let myself fade away. I must atone for my mistake. The feeling of being alone in my mind is nearly agony, but I embrace it, for it is richly deserved. Recently, a couple associates contacted me with the discovery of a void colony ship, and I'm afraid my associates paid with their lives to get me this information. Not wanting their sacrifice to be wasted, I began analyzing its communications, and I discovered a large number of them were headed to a specific system in Euclid. As I began to make my way to this system, imagine my surprise when I received a call for help from that specific system. Their plight seemed dire, so I have done everything possible to speed my arrival. Hopefully, I'm not too late. I am Yundal Hepet, and I heard your call for help in fighting the void. Am I too late, or do you still fight?
Please hold for Administrator Cottrell.
Research Entity Hepet! We've nearly given up hope that our message has reached you. Your associate Rolf told us about your fight when he passed through recently. So when the void first started encroaching our system, we thought of you first. We are incredibly grateful you have come to help us.
You can simply call me Yundal. Since being cut off from the convergence, I no longer use my old Korvax honorific. I was afraid I would be too late. I'm glad to see you still fight. How goes the war against the void?
The void had taken over an entire planet before we even realized our plight. It managed to take a second planet fairly quickly before we could mobilize. But once we started fighting back, we've been able to slow its growth substantially. Currently, the void seems to be focusing on corrupting one planet at a time. It is currently attempting to subsume the planets of Zakalyaz. The other planets are all providing weapons and warriors to help the fight. I'd be honored if you would join me at our system's operations center called Zakalyaz Halt, and I can show you what we have planned and how we are fighting back.
Very good. I see your operations center on my HUD. I'll head there now.
Master Hepet, we've cleared all the traffic from the landing pad suspended above the build. Please use that one. This planet is what we like to call vertically challenging. Welcome to Zakalyaz Halt, Master Yundal. In addition to being the system's operations center, we also manufacture provisions for the entire system. Let me show you around our factory.
That would be excellent, Administrator Cottrell. Please lead the way. Administrator Cottrell, this is an excellent facility. Very smartly put together and ran efficiently. You should be proud.
Thank you, Master Yundal. Now let me show you around our conference center where all the remaining leaders are able to consult in real time. You've arrived with your usual impeccable timing, my friend. Master Yundal, I'd like to introduce Armorer Pack, an old friend and head of the Systems Defense Forces.
Master Hepet, it is an honor to meet you. Your willingness to come and help beings you have never met in their fight against the Void speaks volumes. Should you need anything while you are here, do not hesitate to ask.
Thank you, Armorer Pack. I have everything I require currently, but should that change, I will most assuredly let you know. I assume you have arrived to show me the foundries, armories, and weapons with which you are resisting the Void?
Indeed I have, Master Hepet. Would you care to accompany me to the foundries of Nuzbo? Before the arrival of the Void, I was the overseer of this specific factory, so I know it better than any of the others.
That would be most efficient, Armorer Pack. I will follow you there.
Once you've checked out the forge Armorer Pack has built, I'd appreciate you joining me at the base called Project HALT. Named after the planet it is built on, it is our main research and development site as we endeavor to understand the Void.
I definitely need to see that facility, Administrator. Having too many Void items in too close proximity to each other always ends terribly.
So your associate Rob told us. We have been very careful in our handling of the Void items. As I am confident you will see.
Very well, we shall talk soon. Armorer Pack, lead the way if you please.
Of course, Master Hepet. Please, follow me. Master Hepet, this factory is built deep inside a cave system to better protect it. Please, use the landing pads outside the ancient monolith, and meet me at the bottom of the monolith steps. After you, please, Master Hepet.
Of course, I'm anxious to see the facility. Very impressive, Armorer Pack. The size of this cave system is truly astonishing. To not utilize it would have been an egregious oversight. Show me around your setup here.
Now we are done with our tour, Master Hepet. Would you care to follow me to Project Haft? The base Krell asked us to meet them at.
Indeed I would. The mention of void experimentation has made me very nervous to see what you have built. In my experience, nothing good ever comes from experimenting with the void.
I think you will be comforted to see the lengths to which Krell and his researchers have gone to ensure the void items cannot communicate with each other. Please, follow me, Master.
Ah, the hubris of youth. I remember it well. Time to go see if I can prevent theirs from turning out as tragic as mine.
Master Hepet, what did you think of the foundries Pat built on Nusbo? They have been instrumental in helping us resist the void's encroachment on Zakalyaz.
They were very well put together. Armorer Pack is right to be proud of the work he has done there. I must admit to some apprehension when you told me about the purpose of this place, but now that I see it in person, my apprehension has eased somewhat. You have incorporated void growths throughout the structure, but you've also taken care to keep them segregated.
Your associate Rolf instructed us to do just that, Master Hepet. He was very helpful in the early stages of building this station. Is he well? Will he be joining you here?
I'm afraid Rolf found more than he bargained for in his search for void signals. His last message to me was most likely his final message, as I believe he sacrificed himself to make sure the message got through.
May him find embrace in the arms of his ancestors. That is indeed a great loss, Master Hepet. He was a very thorough and efficient gang.
Simply another death to lay at the feet of the Void, Administrator Cottrell. Our continued resistance is the best way to ensure his death wasn't in vain. Why don't you show me the facility? There were a couple rooms with compound bulbs and chairs that made me unable to entirely let go of my apprehension.
Of course, Master Hepet. In fact, let's start with those rooms. If you follow me through the teleporter, then out to the door on the left, we can access the first of those rooms. Now, as for the purpose of these rooms, we were originally trying to contact the Void. When in battle, it's always best to know your enemy, and the Void is a complete enigma to my people. Imagine our surprise, instead of contacting the Void, we made contact with other Vy'keen in our same system. We have started using this room as a nearly real-time communication hub between the remaining uncorrupted planets in the system.
That is a very handy tool to have, but the risk involved in setting it up is immense. There are so many ways it could have went very badly, and still might.
We were very aware of the risks, Master Hepet, and took steps to minimize them, as I will show you shortly. Next, however, let's go check out the other rooms with the compound bulbs and chairs. This room has smaller versions of the communication devices than the first room did. We can use these to communicate in real time across our planet. Now let me show you why I'm so confident in our communication setup. Let's go back to the lobby and through the teleporter on the left of the one that brought us up from the landing pad. When we first started experimenting with void items, a brilliant researcher discovered that anything related to the void would react violently in the presence of fire. Accordingly, before any compound bulb gets installed in the array above, they get incinerated for several days. They take no outward damage, but it sears any void imprints completely out of them.
Fire. Very inventive. Knowing the bulbs are cleansed of all void imprint before you use them has eased my apprehension significantly. Show me what else you've come up with here.
This control center monitors not only our communications, but we have recently started seeing communication spikes when we aren't speaking. Our technicians think we may be seeing the void communications and are actively looking for ways to decode the signal. They keep assuring me that they are close, but have yet to actually produce any actionable intel. Feel free to check out all of our stations here in the upper room. Our technicians have outdone themselves.
You have made an amazing facility here, Administrator Cottrell. You have shown respect for the danger posed by the void items, while also refusing to let that danger stop you from making some very impressive breakthroughs. Your work here might give us the edge we need against the void.
Thank you so very much, Master Hepet. You'd be surprised how much motivation can be gained by the prospect of utter annihilation. Now I believe AdamMac has another facility to show you. This one on the planet of Zakalyaz. This facility is providing supplies directly to our troops on the planet as they try to remove all traces of void corruption. I will meet you later at the settlement on the planet and show you our most ambitious idea to create weapons to fight the void.
Consider my curiosity piqued, Administrator. I'm also anxious to see this factory of yours, AdamMac. I will follow you. Yes, AdamMac. Are we getting close to your factory?
Yes, we are, Master. However, I am getting no response on any of our communication channels. The factory was built into another cave system at the bottom of one of the deep chasms that dot the planet. We should be coming up on it momentarily. By the blood of Herc! Look, Master! There are two void serpents winding through the surface structures. It is no wonder the facility wasn't answering my hails. They have been overrun.
I didn't expect my mission to this system to go easily, AdamMac. Let's land and see if we can ascertain exactly what happened. Hopefully even rescue some of the crew that was working here.
Master Hepet, I cannot land. The pads will not accept my landing request.
Curious. I seem to be having no problem. I'm landed now, but I will wait to exit my ship until you've managed to land as well. It will be better for us to be able to provide covering fire for each other, should the need arise.
The surface structures of this facility were some of the most astonishing in the system, Master Hepet. Seeing them corrupted by the void makes my blood boil. Let us see what awaits us in the caves. The first section was not very developed. The main machinery is further in. The main production area is accessible through this narrow crack, Master Hepet. Please, follow me and watch your head. This is the start of the main production area. The void item seems to have infiltrated every part of it. Straight ahead up the incline are the main forges. Let us start there.
No sign of activity, void or Vakeen. Where to next, Armorer?
Let us head off to the right. There is a dead end where we placed extraction machinery. More void serpents. Tread carefully, Master.
A very well thought out extraction site, Armorer Pack, but like everything else, the void items have infiltrated it completely.
It would appear so. There are more extraction areas to the left of the forges. Let us check those out.
This place reminds me strongly of Tenseha. Filthy gross! You will not be successful here. Well, it seems our rescue mission was for naught, but it was good to see that the void items seem to be following the same template I've seen at other corrupted sites.
Pardon me, Master Hepet, but how can anything about this be called good? This place was integral to our defense of this planet. Its loss will be a terrible blow.
It is good in the fact that it shows the void is slow to adapt. It continues to reuse old tactics and methods. We, on the other hand, need to be more flexible and quick to grasp and adapt to new techniques. I must admit that my approach had become predictable over the past few years. Seeing your struggle here and witnessing your innovations has convinced me that we must rely on our adaptability if we are to be successful. Wait, I saw movement over to the left.
Run, Master Hepet. We have no way of knowing how many of them there are. I will cover you as you head for the drop.
Very well. Once I'm at the bottom of the drop, I'll cover your descent, then we can leapfrog back, one covering the other, until we regain the surface. Once back on the surface, we'll head for Administrator Cottrell at the settlement and decide on our next course of action.
Master Hepet, I have reported our setback to Tekrel. They were saddened by the loss of the staff at the forge, but said they had something groundbreaking to share. So I rushed ahead. They do have some amazing news. Please, join us in the settlement lounge when you arrive.
Curiouser and curiouser. I'm approaching the settlement now. Wait. What is that?
Oh, yes. In the excitement, I had forgotten that you had not been here before, Master Hepet. I would like to present Void's Bane. It is the biggest construction project ever attempted in this system, and is Administrator Tekrel's brainchild. So I will let him explain further.
I noticed that on both planets the Void conquered in the first system. The first reports of trouble on the planet weren't Void-related as we've come to expect. In fact, both planets first reported the emergence of enormous worms who burrowed through the planet's crust, occasionally breaking through to wreak havoc, only to dive back between the planet's surface. I began to suspect the worms were the Void's heralds, if you will, signifying the Void's intent to take over the planet. So when a worm was sighted on Zigam, I started redirecting our efforts here, and sure enough, shortly after the worm started appearing, the Void began attacking.
Now that you mention it, every planet I fought the Void on also had a worm. Very astute observation, Administrator.
Thank you so very much, Master Hepet. I have my researchers start tracking the worm's movement, and while they are most random, there is a slight degree of repeatability, namely at this settlement here. I don't know why, but the worm surfaces here more than any other place on the planet. I ordered the construction of Void's Bane with the intent of actually killing the worm, in the hope that the Void would then abandon their attack on the other worlds in the system. I decided my best approach would be to build an enormous humanoid robot. One hand has a beam cannon to hurt the worm enough that it cannot re-enter the planet's crust. The mech will then close on the worm, and use the mace on the other hand to end it. The cannon on the mech's shoulder should be enough to
The people of this system are very lucky to have two such as yourself and Pack to lead them. It is not often you find leaders willing to push the boundaries to such extreme degrees. When we are successful here, it will be due to the amazing groundwork you two have done. I'm landing now. What news have you that got Armorer Pack so excited you can tell me over comms while I inspect the mech for myself?
Our communication technicians have had a breakthrough and managed to decrypt the message on the Void network. It appears the Void is constructing the command center on Kiva Minor. This command center is still not fully operational, but once it is, the Void will redouble its attempts to take the system. We have barely been able to hold off the Void's assault so far. A redoubling of the effort would spell our doom. Fortunately, we found out about the command center in time to do something about it. I've been talking with Armorer Pack, and they believe that a small group might be successful in infiltrating the area the command center is located. Once on site, they will use explosives to destroy the main building. Hopefully this, combined with the death of the worm on the spikes of Void's Bane's mace, will give us the opening to repel the Void from the system entirely.
Not being a biological myself, I don't have any reference point for this, but I believe the term for what you are proposing is gigantic brass balls.
Let me assure you, Master Hepet, Vy'keen are known for their brass content in their balls. So what say you? Do we attempt the impossible, stopping the Void once and for all?
I heartily approve and have only one request to make of you.
Anything, Master Hepet. You simply have to ask.
I am tired of reacting to the Void's encroachment. Time and time again I have been on the defensive, striving to simply save what I could before the Void overran it. Now, when faced with the opportunity to be proactive, to take the fight to the Void itself, I find myself exhilarated. And all I ask is to be part of the raiding party, to be able to finally hit the Void on my terms.
I have already called in my most experienced fighter, and was sincerely hoping you would ask to be the third in our group. I can think of no better group to entrust the safety of our...
It is decided then. Pack and his associate will meet you at the command center on Kiva Minor, while I stay here at the settlement and ready Void's Bane for combat. May heart guide your step. I look forward to hearing about your adventure when you return.
Master Hepet, it is an honor to shed blood with you today.
The honor is mine, Scout Gron. Hopefully it will be mostly void ichor that gets shed today, and not too much blood.
From your lips to Atlas's ears, Master Hepet.
What can you tell us about the site, Scout Gorn?
The Void was considerate enough to build their command center on an island in the middle of a lake. While this makes it easy to see anything approaching by air, they seem to have completely ignored the fact that biologics don't have to fly. We can swim too. The Void has built a large ring of some kind of extractor all the way around the island. We can swim under the water, surface just outside the ring of extractors, jetpack over them, and attack the surprise defenders.
That sounds like a very well thought out approach. I like it.
It is a plan then. Dawn has just broke. Let us make our approach now, so the sun will be in the defender's eyes when we attack.
Indeed. I am as anxious as you to take the fight to the Void. Let us waste no more time. You and the scouts start sabotaging the extractors. I'll try to pull data off the base computer.
Yes, sir.
What the? Watch out, sir!
Living ships? Where the Atlas did 3 living ships come from? There have been 0 reports of living ship sightings anywhere in the system.
It would appear that I have to retract my earlier statement. The Void is capable of adaptation, and it has set quite an elaborate trap. The comm technicians were fed false information.
Master Hepet, what do we do?
It's quite simple, actually. We die. Here, today, is our end. The only choice remaining to us is the manner of our death. I have faced dissolution once before and refused to bow. I will not do so today. Let us make the Void rue the day they trapped us. Destroy everything you can. Fight until the last breath leaves your lungs. Let us give the others in this system who still fight a chance at victory.
Indeed, Master Hepet. We are Viking, bred for battle, and today the Void will know full well the price of our lives.
For Zakalyaz!
This shell is strong. It has resisted us ever since we awoke, but we have finally managed to bend it to our will. This system resisted us more fervently than any other we have found. The giant machine they built on the incandescent planet even managed to kill the worm we had manifested, but to no avail. All they did was postpone our inevitable victory. Now, with an entire system to consume, our power will grow exponentially, allowing us to start consuming other systems. This is inevitable. Soon, all creation will know Mother's embrace.